The government's healthcare program now covers every Filipino, especially those too poor to even consider visiting a doctor. During the past 3 years of the Aquino administration, top priority has been given to providing healthcare to every Filipino. Focus has been given to the reduction of child mortality, improvement of maternal health, and combating HIV and AIDS, malaria, and other diseases. And there is optimism that more serious illnesses of the poor will be treated and cured. This report.
Republic Act No. 10606, or the National Health Insurance Act of 2005, signed recently, expands healthcare coverage to all Filipinos, most especially the poorest of the poor. Also covered are the senior citizens, disabled, the women, and those who cannot afford to pay for checkups and medicines.
Malaking bagay kasi i-cover din dito yung mga market vendors, yung mga informal settlers na nangangailangan din ng kalinga ng gobyerno.
The Philippines has a young population. Only 8% are 60 years old and above, 50% aged 25 years old, and 42% from 26 to 59 years old. Dr. Tony Liachon said that with the National Health Insurance Act, we can solve the top 5 killer sickness or non-communicable and lifestyle illnesses like stroke, heart attack, cancer, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and diabetes, where the government spends 177 billion every year.
93% of the country, or perhaps 80%, ito yung mga nagkakasakit. Dapat din may preventive tayo. Kaya ito naisip ni Secretary Ona, upang sa ganun, hindi continuum of care. Alam naman natin na may nagkakasakit every time. Pero mas marami tayong matitipid kung mapiprevent natin dito. So mag-i-introduce sila ng outpatient package na mayroong mga gamot din na mura na because nag-cheaper medicines bill na ma-afford ng ating mga kababayan at ibibigay din sa ating mga local government units. So therefore, kung libre ang kanilang consultation doon sa ating mga government hospitals, may gamot na ibibigay sa kanila, let's say sa blood pressure, hindi na sila may stroke kasi number 1 cause ng hypertension at saka ng heart disease, okay, are actually related sa mga masasamang bisyo na ang gamot naman, mapiprevent mo sila na magkaroon sila ng mga stroke at catastrophic illnesses. Kung makaka-avail sila na free ito at merong mga benepisyo pa, ano pa ang pipigil sa kanila na magpagamot? Kumbaga, nandun na yung complete directions coming from the government. Nandun na yung motivation ng ating mga tao, ng mga kababayan, at sineshape na environment natin para maging conducive to healthcare. Dati, in the past, siguro last 10 years, wala tayong nakikitang na sineshape up natin ng ating bayan para maging conducive to healthcare. So ngayon, nakikita natin to na ini-educate natin ng publiko, minomotivate natin. Pero binibigyan natin ng infrastruktura upang sa ganun, yung environment natin maging conducive sa health.
A strong economy is further strengthened by a united and healthy population, which the government through the Department of Health promotes and supports.
Naniniwala ko ang kalusugan ay kayamanan. Kung ita-translate natin siya sa isang national level or pambansang level, ang kalusugan ng bayan ay kayamanan ng bayan. So, therefore, kung malusog ang ating mga kababayan, mas magiging productive sila, mas magiging inspired sila magtrabaho. So, therefore, ang ating ekonomiya lalong magbubus o lalong lalaki siya. Paano kung may sakit na ating mga workforce, paano pa sila makakapagtrabaho? Alam mo, dalawa kasi ang tinitingnan natin para tayo makapagtrabaho. Ang unang-una, tinatanong kung may medical certificate ka. Pangalawa, tinatanong kung ano natapos mo. Right? So, kung may sakit ka, pero matalino ka, hindi ka pa rin makakakuha ng magandang trabaho. Okay? Yun ang una. Or, malusog ka, pero hindi ka nakatapos, menial jobs. Kaya, ang dalawang ina-address ng gobyerno, edukasyon at saka kalusugan, para meron kang job. Diba? So, ina-address din ang job generation. Pero kung wala kang kalusugan, hindi ka pa nakapag-aral, wala kang makukuha masyado trabaho.
For People's Television, Jackie Sai.